Universe. Good morning, my patrons. This is the week ahead reading. So we're going to go from November 20th until, what would it be? November 27th, 26th, 27th. Patrons, you're here with me, ad-free first access. We're just going to get a little pulse for the Ultra Love Collective, the collective reading for November 20th to 27th. Divine guidance and loving clarity. So there's a refinement emotionally. Just be mindful of that. There could be a little bit of emotional stuff that comes up for you or for somebody in your reality, or there could be an emotional message that comes through as well for some of you. The emotional message for some of you could be related to a child, some good news from a child, or interestingly, it could be news about some losses, some financial losses. If maybe your child is getting into trading or wanting to invest money or looking for work, and they're like, oh, I didn't get the job, or I ended up losing that investment or something. So there's some disappointment. But for you, there's also this refinement with temperance. So all of this is like an alchemical shift for you around one, probably shape-shifting some of your relationships, but also shape-shifting that relationship within yourself, right? Yeah, don't worry. The situation is going to probably naturally resolve itself. So the same, if this is, say, a child in your life or somebody younger or somebody that you might employ as well, like somebody you might mentor somehow, right? Like, so if you're an employer looking after employees and one of them is going through some difficult times, don't worry as far as like there's a higher evolutionary thing going on, as in this person in your life is going to grow in a positive way from this situation. So the advice here too is like to hang back. Don't get too involved. Don't, you can lend an ear, but don't emotionally invest. And certainly I would say don't get involved financially, or don't overstretch yourself financially. Trust and or hold space that this person will be able to process and deal with the emotional stuff. Because, I mean, especially if this is a child, this could impact you emotionally as well. So this is more about you looking after your emotions and then holding space and trusting that divine guidance, or that, that guidance from within you will come through. Yeah, for some of you, this is a pretty substantial shift going on this week. There could be a bit of a rebirth around your emotional connection, like how you feel about your emotions. Some of you might be feeling a bit depressed, and or this is connected to the messages that you're getting from somebody at work or your child. I'm feeling depressed, or actually this thing's gone down and it's making me feel depressed, or I'm not able to get a job and so I'm feeling depressed. There's still a sense of remaining fairly detached. I'm thinking of like how we're having to really be self-aware and learn how to be really self-responsible. I'm feeling like some of you are maybe waiting for something, a message, or it's connected to love. This is connected to family. There could be a sense of waiting either from an internal message or even like messages like from the angels or messages from the beyond. Receiving certain messages from the beyond that help you feel certain, grounded, or certain or nourished. Maybe for some of you that's what it's about, like opening up to greater spiritual connection, greater emotional connection, to feel nourished in the family domain, in the home front, or in the relationships sector. There's definitely a desire or a sense of renewal being sparked this week. So, ongoing, continuing to shed things, continuing to let things go, and then, yeah, opening up to love for things that we do, love for our hobbies, love for our bodies, love for the people in our lives. Obviously, we can be creating a little bit more sense of romance, but of course that can mean self-care. That can mean the way we're looking after our home. Maybe for some of us there could be a sense of a redo or project that we're wanting to crack on with at home. There's a strong energy here of like really, really needing some love. So making sure that you're nourishing yourself, loving yourself. Even if you're noticing certain, like patterns of thought going on in your mind that are not very positive or could be even quite critical. So just being aware of that. Part of these rebirth or renewal phases we go through are to embody greater loving wisdom, right? Or to feel more harmonious within ourselves. So for some of us, there could be a bit of a break that's warranted. You simply might resonate with the idea of like, yeah, I need to take a step back. I need to take a step for myself. I need to look after myself. It could be a weekend getaway. It could be a spa retreat. It could be just a day retreat. I remember doing that last weekend, just meeting up with a couple friends, going to the pool, the sauna, and just having that hour or 2 hours where it's just you for you, looking after you. Because sometimes we're in these situations where there's not necessarily those people looking out for us or looking after us. So we have to be the one to do it, right? There's some sort of innocent renewal coming through. For some of you, there could be a person coming in as well. This is a female in this reading, but of course you can do what you like with the gender, certainly. But this could be a new friend. For some of us, again, it could be a child in our lives. There's something about opening up to a bit more playfulness as well. Playfulness and self-care is a big message as we kind of re-energize our desire for engagement, re-energize our desire for like things can go our way. We can always talk through or overcome conflict. And then again, kind of opening up to love, loving the people in our lives, loving ourselves, loving our hobbies, like just a bit amplifying the joy factor and trusting that like sometimes we do want to be held back. Sometimes we do want to pull back from situations and trust that certain people are going to be able to navigate that situation for themselves. It's the aspect of self-responsibility. So if we're self-responsible, we teach others through our example how to also be self-responsible. So we can empathize, we can support, we can be like, oh no, that's unfortunate. Or maybe, I would say don't even offer advice, but just hold that space for people, knowing that they're connected, they're responsible, they have it within them. Like if you feel that and trust that about somebody, you're more likely to invoke that within them, that spirit within them, like they're able to get through it. Then that can evolve and harmonize those dynamics. The relationships with our children might change, but they're evolving in a positive way. Relationship with our employees, they might change, but they're going to evolve us and them in a positive, expansive way, even if it's a bit uncomfortable. And I think that's why we're often pulled in, called in, or guided to really drop into that self-care, deeper knowing, deeper trust within. It's got to be done by livers. We're living in a very creative time. And that sense of self-responsibility, self-knowing, and then permissioning one another and ourselves to make those positive changes when we're being asked to. Because that can sometimes be where we, or where I witness in myself or others, where we might kind of fall short, where we hold back, is that when it comes to actually making the physical change, taking the move, having that conversation, that's where we can kind of hold back and go, oh, I don't want to, right? Like, I don't really want to have to face that conflict. I don't really want to have to like actually deal with it. But then when we actually deal with it, it's like facing our fear, turning it on. Oftentimes, once we actually do it, it's not nearly as bad as what we anticipated in our mind. And or simply, when it's done, and then we can move on, right? You're definitely over the hurdle of a lot of the rebirth energy, but there's still some sort of fallout or denouement, or like just like letting the dust settle. before taking action, letting yourself feel and heal, letting yourself be sad for a day, letting yourself get pampered by somebody else for a day, right? So really invoking that love to re-empower yourself. Know that you're refining some of that emotional connection to be a better leader in your own life. And there's probably some grounding, clearing, homey, nourishing energies that you're going to want to employ at home. DIY, did I say that at one point? There's your week ahead, my lovers. I hope that was useful to you. I so appreciate all of you, my patrons. Thank you guys for your feedback, for your commitment to love, and have a great week. I'll look forward to seeing you guys next time. Peace out.